Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. Here I want to talk about word stress, sentence stress, and intonation. Okay, I am Nurul Aida. I am from Islamic State University, Maulana Malik Ibrahim Malang. I am in major English literature, and this about phonology in the term that I previously said. So enjoy with the video. I will begin with word stress. In all stress syllables is more prominent than unstressed syllable. There is 4 factors that make difference. Important factor. 1 is stressed syllable are louder than unstressed syllable. The 2 is the length of syllable. The 3 is the pitch of syllable, and the 4 is if in syllable in a vowel is have more quality than the more vowels, like it's 4 factor. And I want to explain about from other sources what is word stress. Sources, what is word stress? Word stress is when the syllables in a word is combination of different letters. You can say computer. When you say it loud, may you can explain what is stress syllable. There is in 2 syllable form 3 syllables. You can say it loudly, like more louder. Have 5 letters of word syllable. The one is it is longer, like computer, and it is louder in computer, and it have a change in pitch from the syllable coming before and afterwards, and therefore it is say more clearly. And the 5, it uses larger facial movement. Stress, maybe it have 3 categories in simple, complex, and compound. Like we know, simple is one word form, like enter, cotton, potato, peg, house, or like that. Complex is contain one or more bond morpheme. It is spaced with affix in prefix and suffix. Compound is more than one unbound morpheme, like redwood, toothpick, greenhouse, and the other. To decide stress judgment, we have 4 following information. The 1 information, the whether the word is morphological, simple, or complex. The 2 is grammatical category in which the words belong to, and VA and etc. The 3 is the number of syllables in the word. The 4 is the phonological structure of the simple is have complicated rules and many expectation. Complex is very simple and fixed rules. Compound is very simple rules, not many expectation. Say or explain about word stress rules. There is 2 rules in word stress. The 1 rule is one word has only 1 syllable. In one word, there is have secondary stress. Maybe it can secondary stress, but it's used in long words. And if there is have secondary stress, the second stress is smaller than first syllables or first stress. Second rule of word stress is we just can't choose stress vowel, not consonant. This is the important rule that we can use for identify stress, but it's not really used because by identify the stress, we can to feel the music of the word, and we can to identify by naturally stress identify. Now I want to explain about sentence stress. Maybe in previous we have explained about word stress which have 1 syllable, and now I want to explain about sentence stress. Sentence stress is the music of spoken English, like word stress in have 1 syllable. In sentence stress, there is have rhythm or a tone to say something. In word stress, we can say in 1 syllable, and in the sentence stress, we can to say it in words. So the words is make stress in the sentence. As we know, sentence is have 2 basic typical of words. The number one word is content words. Content words are the key words of the sentence, so it may meaning of the words with content words. And the two is structure words. Structured word is not very important in the words or in the sentence. They are small, but it may can contain the structure of the learn about stress of words and stress of sentence in English club, and now I want to have the other sources from pronunciation.com to say about what sentence stress is little bit more louder than the other word in the sentence. We can take example like I bought a car on Thursday. I bought a car on Thursday. In this sentence, we know the sentence stress in a book, car, and Thursday. In Thursday, we know the word Thursday have stress in thus in first syllable, and the sentence stress, the book, car, and Thursday is the word stress. We have learned about word stress and sentence stress in previous parts, and now I will continue in intonation. But before I continue with intonation, I want to have conclusion about stress. Stress is about which sounds we emphasize in words and a sentence. It likes in words banana, we can say that stress in two syllables. And we must know about rhythm. Rhythm is the pitch of the word. To learn about intonation. Intonation is the way of pitch the speaker's voice. It cuts up or cuts down. It functions to express the message or to explain the message so the hearer can know the message of the words or sentence. I will more detailed information about intonation. Intonation is have differences in every religion or country. All countries have their own dialect, like British and Intonation is how or may speaker have differently depending how the speaker say it loudly or slowly, or maybe higher or low, or maybe speech fast or slow. Maybe it depending on the speaker how the speaker can show the differences of the general. Linguistic have difference and so much a kind of intonation, but there is two basic types of intonation: a falling intonation and rising intonation. Now I will explain it one explain about falling intonation. Falling intonation is the common use intonation in English. So, falling intonation is usually used in declarative, in imperative or command, or maybe in exclamatory, in some question. And I want to explain example of falling intonation, like sentence of I can go to the home. Sis don't have a car. This is in the last of the sentence. There is a falling intonation to know or to find that sentence is declamative or imperative. I want to explanation about falling intonation. Falling intonation is most common use intonation in English. It usually used in imperative, in declarative or statement, in special question, and etc. And I want to give example of this, like the sentence, sis don't have a car. I won't live in Moscow, like this. There is an example of falling intonation. And the next, I want to explain about rising intonation. Rising intonation is have a lot of various in English. It is have complicated phenomenon, and it can use like in question, surprise, or in suggestion, in hesitation, in doubt, or readiness. But maybe I will give an example like, do you have a car? Or any question. Another term of intonation is fall and rise. Maybe this is instead of the normal rising tone in unfinished part of sentence. In fall and rising intonation, in the first maybe it can fall down and then it goes up in one word. Like the example is the article the set of Mariana, just the one who know the hunter. That is the example of fall and rise. I will explain another terms is high rise. High rise is used for expressing strong surprise or disable in a question. For example, in surprise equation. It usually used if you don't believe something and you have in high rise intonation. It is very expressive and it like you don't believe, and it is more higher than normal intonation or tone. Maybe book, do you have a book, or what you lost? Next book, maybe we have next learner about intonation. We can change of standard patterns of intonation in falling and rising. Maybe we know falling intonation is generally used for compassion, confident, when rising information is usually for top, for expressing of surprise, expressive, or interesting about something, incomplete. Give example. Like one example is Melissa wants to quit her job. It like giving information. And the two is Melissa wants to quit her job. It may asking information. The two example is where are you from? It like standard question. And the two example is where are you from? It like more interest about the information. It is more polish. Example of rising and falling intonation in sentence like excuse me, if you want to repeat the information, if you not heard the information. And next is excuse me, if you want the attention of apologize about something. And the next example, next I will give 5 example like in the sentence, can I ask or can I say to the manager please? It like if you want to have a question but instead of a question. And if you say like can I speak to the manager please, it like you want to uh, meet with the manager, and is the answer is expected in yes. Another example of rising intonation is in a question text that show uncertainty and require an answer, like do you like coffees? Then you, or like you're a student, aren't you? Like this. The example of falling, rising will explain another patterns of falling and rising intonation. We just have switch position in some sentence to make it can show the message and the purpose of the sentence. Like first terms is rise and fall intonation. So the sentence will have intonation rises and then it falls. It is maybe can like the example, are you having a salad? We'll give example in rise and fall intonation. We usually have it in for choices list on or unfinished work on an extra. I will give example in choices like does you have speak German or French? Or the other is your name is Ava or Eva? Or the other is in list like we've got apple, pear, banana, and orange, like this. And another term I will show and explain about falling and rise intonation. That is first if falling, and then the sound is can have difference in falling and rising, because in these patterns or in this kind of intonation, the voice is false and then rise usually within one word. if we know that rise and fall is usually an different word, but in falls and rise this is in one word. Its function is usually for the speaker that not certain of the answer that they are giving for a question. The example of this pattern is hesitation and reluctance, like you didn't see him on Monday, and I don't quite remember. In re, we have fall, and member, we have rising. And another example is politeness, stop, and uncertainty, like should we have copy it? Or like another is perhaps we could visit this page, or do you think it is all allowed? All allowed, like all we have fall and allowed we have raise. Like this is the example of fall and raising intonation. English intonation and stress is important element in English or in speech. So about word stress, sentence stress, and intonation, which word stress is a syllable in the words which have more strong than the other, and sentence stress is about words in the sentence is more strong to show the message, or how long or how weak thesis can show the message, and intonation is just up or down about tone. It can just so it seems to explain the message to the hearer. So all about stress and intonation is element of speaking. So in speaking, we know how we pronounce, how we say something. It can be river a message to the hearer, to the another people. So we know, or another people know our purpose. So they know what we want. Okay, there is all my explanation about word stress, sentence stress, and intonation, and all patterns of it. So I think this is enough. Thanks for watching my video, and wassalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh.